one of our partners later on that night, Latoya.
And we also we're gonna celebrate June 10th at Atkinson Park.
Mm-hmm.
Atkinson
So
Park.
um
With the
I'm
Village
not
Group.
full on the details, but I'm sure we gonna have some these hot dogs and hamburgers. And,
Is this that day? Are we doing it that day or is this that? Because I know
that
later
day.
on that night we'll be at Washington
I
Park,
know,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so
So once we finish the parade, we're gonna go back to Atkinson Park.
okay, so that's all right. So right after that, we're going right back to Atkinson
Yeah.
Park.
Mhm.
Okay,
And celebrate the rest of the afternoon there.
right.
Then we're going to go to a concert hosted by one of our partners, and it's for our community. And it's hosted by Von Mays, programming the parks
Yep, that'll run
and
from
Comforts.
4 p.m. to 8 p.m. that evening.
Yep, at Washington Park.
At Washington Park. So yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up. Anything as far as our organization, if any of our partners are listening, please let us know. Call in 414-444-5250 if you have anything to let us know, or any community updates, y'all. If it's anything that you want to see Wisconsin Voices attend, or anything that you may think that we would like to attend, or any of our people from individual departments, please let us know. Whether it's policy director work for Joe, some more directing and partnership work for Latoya, we'll usually tag along with Latoya if she got it. If I'm not bringing somebody in, Latoya got somebody she's meeting with. We got a lot of groups that we want to meet with and connect with. So y'all got any updates or anything that y'all want to go over? Joe, how about you?
I mean, I just want to say it was my first Jazz in the Park last night downtown.
Oh, you went.
So I went downtown for the Jazz in the Park, and
Look
I
at you,
mean,
man.
it was absolutely amazing.
beautiful.
Just so many different cultures, different people, different backgrounds.
Yeah.
All just there having
Yeah.
a great time celebrating. And I think it was really what this community in this city's about, is
Mhm.
everybody coming together and just
Yeah.
enjoying the music and enjoying each other.
Yeah, Jazz in the
That's
Park is a
cool.
long-standing
That's
tradition
cool.
for us
Mhm.
Milwaukeeans. That's something we all get out to, where you will see everybody from every background come and celebrate. And I like that one piece. And it's also a few other events that you'll see in Milwaukee as well that happen annually in the summertime.
Beer
or
garden.
weekly, right? A beer garden for
Who
sure.
doesn't like a beer garden,
Right.
right?
Yep. You got the Night Fest downtown. You got some other street festivals and some weekly events that'll be kicking up as well. So, like you said, Jazz in the Park is one of the best. Jermaine, look, he has something to say, man. Go ahead and say it.
Man, I forgot all about it.
I look, hey, they said, oh man, yeah, I know. And then our team wanted to go down there last night, but then it would have required a couple of us from staying in the office a little later than expected. But I'm glad that you got to go down there and get your first experience. And it was the first one of the year, right?
Yeah, it was opening night. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but the trumpet player, he was a 2-time Grammy winner.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh, yeah.
it was really, really cool.
Quality music.
Yeah, and it was just a
Quality
great
street
atmosphere too.
Yeah.
Like I said, the atmosphere was really great. Good food, good
Food trucks
drinks,
down there.
Food trucks down there. So yeah, if anybody, I think it's on Thursday nights. Happy hour starts at 5, and then music runs from 6 to 9. So
Yeah, Jazz in the
just
Park could bring back the
great time.
ladies' nights in Milwaukee, man. Milwaukee used to have a legit ladies' night where you can go out and it'd be a good night every spot, and maybe Jazz in the Park can revive the ladies' night in this city. They didn't lost it. I think every group had their ladies' night, then it started fading away with this last little era of 20-somethings and early 30-somethings. There's just no more ladies' nights. So Jazz in the Park, bring back the ladies. Maybe some of the spots around there. I know what's the name was probably busy last night. Elsa's.
Yeah.
Did you go out last night after that?
I didn't. No,
Okay.
nope. Stayed till the end and
Yeah.
kind of called it a night. But
Hopefully I can get down there one of these weekends. Latoya, you going down to Jazz in the Park?
Might.
You down to Jazz? You don't like jazz?
Yeah, I like jazz. I like jazz. I just don't. It's just something about me with like hanging out
Bunch of people
with a bunch of people.
after already doing the work
Wrong.
all day.
Yeah,
Being in the
wrong.
mix, sometimes it be like that. So you got to keep the social energy high. After,
If you realize, from the work I do, I talk to a lot of people all
Right.
day.
right,
People scripting me, want money, want projects, want to do stuff, want ideas, want help. So I'm always talking to a lot of people. So a lot of times in my evenings, I just like me, my guy, my kids, my grandkids, just
yeah, just
something to
relax.
myself.
Ain't no wrong with that. I'm all for being in the mix, and that's what I do like about being in Milwaukee. You can either turn all the way down and be at home, or you can be somewhere in the mix if you know the right environments. And this is that time of the year where you can just find something really every day if you want to. As soon as June hit or the end of May hit, it's an event or somebody's doing something every week, and that list is, I even seen the advertisement for some barbecue rib fest that out in Walworth or something like that.
Mhm.
I mean, I seen I don't even eat
Okay.
ribs like that no more. If they got some beef ribs out there, I'm gonna go. That'd be
Yeah, I
nice,
know.
but-
Nah, I go to that and
Yeah, see,
tell me
look.
some food.
Yeah, see, look,
See,
got,
now we
look,
got
caught her
Toya.
attention.
Yep.
Look, she gonna socialize now, y'all. Hey, if y'all want Latoya to socialize, make sure y'all got good food
We're
there.
gonna see her
And that's for
every
me
event
too.
this
I'll
year.
socialize around good food.
For real.
Come with J. Joe.
As long as I can eat good, I'm good.
Talking about good food, I think the Locust Street Festival.
Oh, that's
is
June
this-
9th.
Oh, yeah.
festival is
Fest.
this weekend. So.
You're gonna love it. I go there
Yeah.
every week, every year. So I gotta go this weekend too.
Yeah.
After we go to the
Get
convention.
you some
Yeah.
good food, support the
I'm
community.
definitely
Support.
I'm just gonna so I'll be in town this weekend. I'm not gonna go hang out and I'll
Yeah,
supposed to
he
go
like to leave us and go to Chicago.
yeah, sometimes
y'all.
just that
That's
some of the
what's up,
events be
though.
nice, but then I always look at my every dollar. I'm spending extra $4-5 for everything I get down there that I get up here. So I'm gonna stay here and enjoy Milwaukee this weekend. It's beautiful.
It is.
Save my little $245 extra dollars. So it's Friday, man. I always like to have fun with the team. We usually until we started a special project, we usually work from home on Fridays, which is nice. But we got a big project going on now, so you'll see us in the office on Fridays, or we may leave early on Fridays. But it's nice to connect and have some fun. But this morning, I just was talking to on a more serious note. I was looking at something that I came across on WISN just to credit them this morning. It looks like Mr. Or Mayor Cavalier Johnson, and y'all might not see it yet, but he just had it. He had a meeting, or he had a special conference this morning with the press talking about his possible, I guess, what would you say? He wants to kind of interject and come in and help, pick the next superintendent. And that was the
For MPS?
yeah,
For MPS,
yeah.
yeah.
So he's giving out his assistance in that search for a new MPS superintendent. And in the conference this morning, he's talked about how he's seen the calls from people in the community saying for MPS takeover, city of Milwaukee takeover of the MPS. He said that that's not his place to do that, but he does want to make sure that people, the citizens of Milwaukee and the leaders of Milwaukee, are stepping up. If you are interested in being on the school board or running for these positions, this is your time to make yourself known. I'm just curious to hear from the community what, if anybody
Me
caught
too.
that. And if you haven't caught that, go on, Facebook or WISN and look at the interview. Give us a call. Tell us what you think. What do you think about, him? Pretty much, he wants to be, one of the main people to help find somebody or find the next superintendent. What do y'all think about that?
Well, just before we came on the air, Governor Evers stepped in as well.
Okay.
And made a statement and said
Mhm.
he's calling on 2 additional audits of MPS, going 2 steps further than the ongoing financial audit, including auditing MPS programs and operations in their entirety and the effectiveness of teachers and the instruction of our kids in the classroom across the district. So not only are we seeing some city leaders step up, we're also seeing the state kind of step up a little bit and say, we got to get to the bottom of this and figure out what's going on, because at the end of the day, the ones that are going to suffer are the kids.
So, yeah, go ahead, because I just want to ask y'all more questions. I'll go ask you, Latoya. Says Joe, and then Joe, you can follow up with the question as well. What when you, from that response that Joe just read from the governor, what do you think, or what do you think there was more some more fallacies or something else being seen in the mix of going through and pulling out these reports, or what do you think really happened?
I'm gonna follow up with that in just a second. I
Okay.
want to comment on that first initial statement that you made about the governor. I think it is great that more eyes are starting to pay attention to MPS, because being a mother, raised 4 beautiful kids here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin,
Mhm.
I would have never let my kids go to MPS.
Your kids can go to NPS?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
Just off the quality of education.
Okay.
And we need to get better with our kids and their competition in the world at age groups.
The
So,
whole U.S.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
U.S.
I mean,
a
Milwaukee-
5-year-old, a 5-year-old that's Black, Hispanic, white, Caucasian, Asian, Hmong,
Mm-hmm.
Vietnamese,
Mm-hmm.
they all not compete, but are basically tested at a level to see what kids compete at what level, how intelligent are each ethnicity at what level. And when I learned that, I was like, wow, didn't know that. Didn't know that each age group, that's why they give the test at the schools, and they identify what race you are and all. So I did once I learned that, then I learned that when you think about MPS and any other school system, the choice, the suburban schools and all, you notice that a kid doesn't learn as much or as well as they do in other school systems. And I just feel like I'm glad that eyes are on MPS because our kids deserve more in this community. And as a mom, I really made the decision to have my kids go to choice schools because I didn't want to lack their terms of education from going to MPS because it lacked me. And each person has their own opinion, but I was a product of MPS, so I can say how I felt
I mean,
about
hey,
MPS.
hey. I mean, look, I didn't go.
So
I didn't go to PS, so I just listened to it. I did see some transition, some, and I think I mentioned before. Excuse me for cutting you off, Latoya, but just seeing some the individuals I went to high school with who left the high school Nicolay that I went to and end up going to NPS, and I could see the change in some of their competency
mhm.
and their understanding and their detail. Like school like Nicolay had you ready to go into
To
like
college.
extensive training, like exams.
Mhm.
Like I remember sitting there doing some stuff like 30-page papers and speeches and stuff in
It
school.
had
That was
you getting ready for
yeah,
college.
and I seen some
MPS
people.
though,
Yeah,
MPS have you getting ready to just barely get by life.
it's like
That's basically what it's saying. We barely helping you
when you
understand how to read, write, and do what you're supposed to do.
when you think about that school to prison, what they call it, the school to prison
Prison
pipeline,
pipeline.
it really does seem like
Mm-hmm.
it was really reflected or really seen shown in Milwaukee, that system. Yes, sir.
I was really going to say that because even if you look at how the schools are built, the structure of the schools are structurally built like prisons.
Prisons,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So MPS schools, because when I was going to school, my mother took me out of MPS. The last MPS school I went to, it was Samuel Moore's.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She took me out of there, and I went to Whitman in Wauwatosa,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up going to Greenfield. So I was in this program called the 220 program.
Me too.
I was too. Mm-hmm.
So I learned so much going out to the suburbs compared to being in the inner city because of how the structure of the schools were.
Mm-hmm.
I look at some of my friends that went to certain MPS schools,
Mm-hmm.
their lifestyle, their
Mhm.
demeanor, everything about life is structured around how they went to school. So they in the streets and
Mm-hmm.
prison and
Mhm.
jail and
Mm-hmm.
going back and forth. But those that was in the suburbs, and it's sad to say, but it's true.
It
Yeah.
really is.
College, nice homes, nice jobs. Some of them made bonehead decisions,
Yep.
but that was all of a
Yep.
choice. It was a
Mhm.
choice that they had. And it's sad to say, but it's really the pipeline to prison.
It
Yeah.
really is. And that's why I'm
It's the
glad
truth.
that Governor Evers, even our mayor, are taking a second look on NPS, and I hope they go one step further than just doing an audit on the finances. I hope they really start realizing that we need to have a different structure, academic structure is what I mean
Mhm.
for MPS.
Mhm.
You should be teaching the kid how to go to college. When my kids were in school, my kids went to Young Leaders Academy,
Mhm.
and they were being taught from the 5th grade to the 8th grade, college prep, how to do symbolics and exams and making sure that they know that they gotta do a whole bunch of different classes and still their curricular activities and
Mhm.
taking them places and showing them different HBCUs and it was just a different structure to where I was really happy to make that choice,
Yeah.
and I really did not want my kids to go to MPS.
Yeah.
So I really was like, how am I going to do this? I can't pay for private school, but there's no way, and there's no more chapter 220 anymore, so I know there was no way that I was gonna let my kids go to MPS because it's truly the pipeline of prison. There's no structure in those schools, and you treat those children in those schools like they are basically criminals.
Well, I think a lot of times we try to shove all the kids into one box.
Mhm.
And we try to say, this is the way we're going to teach, and you all have to conform to that. That's why I'm such a big supporter of trade schools
Me too.
Mhm.
and schools that really focus on what the kid's good at.
Good. Yeah.
You know, we try so hard to raise the
Mhm.
levels of where kids are
Mhm.
struggling, but you know, a lot of times we miss the point of, hey, this child's really really good at math.
Mhm.
Right.
We need to focus on that because this kid is probably not going to go into some other field or a trade school.
Right.
He's probably going to go to be something that deals with mathematics.
That's
Yeah.
why I like TikTok and all those outlets now,
Mhm.
because you don't have to wait till you're 18 to push your dream. And what I mean by that, because you have a lot of kids nowadays where their parents are opening them up to what they like.
Mhm.
I seen one little boy, he was what, maybe 5, and he likes to cook. And he can cook, bake, and all the time.
Mhm.
Like, whoa,
Mhm.
a kid messing with his
Mhm.
stove, but he really know what he doing, cook. Then watched him come on some of them talk shows, and he made food for him, and that's what he loved to do. And you would not know that because and he so that comes with measurement and math, and he was
Mhm.
good at that type thing, but maybe not good at something else.
Right.
And you're pushing, like you said, this one program, one curriculum, and that's why I said I like those TikToks and those YouTube shows now,
Mhm.
because a person don't have to wait till they're 18 or in their early teens, and a parent start seeing that skill in them and what they
Mhm.
like, or that art and what they like. They can express themselves when they're younger, to really like know where people goals are, and then that helps you shape around what they want to do and how their life will be. Because when you're doing something you love, it's like
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's like the funniest thing in the world.
We say, you know, kids are not engaged in their curriculum, kids aren't engaged in school, but you know, we got to make it engaging for
For them,
them. We got to make it
they all
wrap it
learn in
around with
different
it.
ways. Some
Absolutely.
of us is visual, some of us is like now in the office.
Mhm.
I can give you this. You Joe and Brian,
Mhm.
y'all go on the computer in a minute, read, type up what y'all doing in the computer, bam, it's good. Me and Tamika has to print everything out, write it on the
Mhm.
paper, and then type it in the computer.
Yeah.
And but why I say that is to say this: everybody learns different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everybody retains information different,
Mhm.
and it's okay to be different, but we shouldn't teach. So in school they would teach us, if the like nowadays they're into computers and emailing, and so
Mhm.
they'll tell us, no, you're not printing anything out, you got to learn this way.
Well, here's a
We
good
shouldn't be
analogy.
like that.
Here's a good analogy that I think I've seen before. One thing is, like, you know, a whale is one of the most smartest creatures in the ocean, but if you told that whale to climb a tree, he's not going to be able to
Right.
do it, right?
Right, and
Because
you
he's not
can't teach
you
them.
can't teach a whale to climb a tree, but if you put him in the ocean, he thrives.
Right.
So it's the same thing with our kids. If we put them in that environment where they can thrive, where they can learn, and they can reach out and search their goals, and you know, like you said, if they're interested in cooking, they can pursue that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we have a system now where you go to school, you learn this curriculum that's sent down from the state, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and a
Yeah,
lot of times our
you're right.
teachers' hands are tied too, because they have all these mandates that come down from the state. This
Mhm.
is the way you have to teach, this is what you have to teach, and we take it out of the hands of the teachers.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go for a short break, but we want some callers to call in and tell us what you feel about these decisions and the spotlight on MPS at 444-5250. This is WNOV 860, 106.5 FM. Be a voice with Wisconsin Voices.
FM. I got two topics for my coworkers. Since we just, everybody's now alert and ready. Uh, More, political based conversation, but I think this is good conversation for the city and everybody else. Two things. Um, where the first is, I did see. I don't know if you looked at it, but I'm sure you might have seen it, Joe. Latoya, you might have seen it as well. Last week, Governor Evers had declared a state of emergency in Milwaukee. It was declared a state of emergency around the Republican National Convention, and you know, I guess with that state of emergency, it just allows, as far as the declaration of law enforcement officers present in the state. Again, all law enforcement officers present in the state.
Have the right to stop and frisk, basically.
Yeah. Enforcement officers present in the state from July 13th to the 19th have been granted the power of arrest as long as they have arrest powers and use of forces training for from their home jurisdiction. So you could mean to tell me Mr. Dan, Quibinon or whatever, some crazy last name, or whoever, we can go with a lot of skis and last names too. Skowskis and Jetskis and all that. No disrespect for anybody that's listening with those last names, but he can stop me. He from Rhode Island. He's, you see 2 people of color a year. Rhode Island sheriff can stop and frisk some young man from, 27th and Atkinson or something like that. That's, it's interesting. I understand the state of emergency. I just don't want to be reflected on the Black community or the minority community here in Milwaukee. So that's my main thing with that. So we know it needs to be done for different radical groups that will come into the city, but at the same time, it just, we need to just make sure our people are safe in this community and surrounding areas when it comes to that. Any thoughts on that, Joe? What you think about that? He laughed.
Well, I mean, just with the history of the police and with communities of color, I mean, with the history of it, it seems like it's already setting us up for a problem.
Yeah.
There's been some issues with where we're protesting and with where they allow protests to be, and with the secure zone. So, and I live very close to that area, so I know it's going to be a little bit of a headache downtown, but. I guess it's a wait and see kind of thing. We just don't know. It's really hard to speculate, but I think Wisconsin Voices and all 3 of us sitting at this table right here are going to keep our eyes and ears open, and make sure that things are done the right way.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Latoya? Thank you, Joe.
I have a lot of questions. I went to the security perimeter meeting.
Yeah, I remember back in, was that March or April or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was disgusting to hear 2 things. One, those that were at that January 6th insurrection.
Yeah, insurrection. Yeah.
Would not. They're first of all, there's 2 perimeters, a hard perimeter and a soft perimeter. Mm-hmm. We're going to be allowed to be in the soft perimeter area. The hard perimeter area, none of our organizations will be allowed to be in, which is unfair, because with anything that we do, they're allowed to be there as long as it's a public property. They will shoot law at you in a minute. It's public space. They are allowed to be on a public property, or you're messing with their First Amendment rights. All of that. But 2 things with that. So in the soft perimeter space that we can be in, we're still going to have a background check. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever been arrested, which the way I talked to them, they just thought I had, and being an organizer for 20 years, you probably would have thought I have. But
they never put the cuffs on you out there?
No.
Oh, that's good.
No.
I'm happy to hear that.
I've always, and we've had people get arrested for our causes and stuff we were doing.
Yeah.
But I never got arrested. Actually, I'm not even gonna break it down on how skilled and smart we was, that we didn't let certain people, because that would change their life.
Yeah, you talking about the people that was working with you?
Yeah, like it would change their life completely. Other people they would look at as a hero in that sense.
Okay.
So we use the hero in that sense, people to get arrested for us.
Oh, you had to. No, y'all was out there sacrificing folks. Oh, you want to be bad and tough? Why don't you go ahead and go to the front of the line then?
No, not like that. They volunteered to do that.
Oh, okay.
But but the way they said it and the way I thought about it is I was thinking about those heroes, because it is true that anybody that protested and got arrested before would not be allowed in that soft perimeter. And so I asked the question, I said, well, in the soft or the hard perimeter, is Republican protesters going to be have a background check? And those that were in that January insurrection, or however y'all say it, or insurrection. I'm country, little old black girl. Always say that. MPS student, by the way.
Oh, look. She out here blaming them live on the air, right? Give us a call if anybody got any other issues with MPS. 414-444. Talk to Toya time. 5250. Talk to Toya. Let us know if you got any educational issues from 79 to 99 to 99 to 09. We would like to hear them. Go ahead, Toya.
No problem. But the thing was, are they going to be disallowed to come as well?
Okay.
If we got arrested for protesting on our behalf, would they not be not allowed to come to this soft perimeter or the hard perimeter, because they really tried to overtake the government?
Or are they even? They're probably going to be allowed in the building.
They said they're not even going to. Joe
might even be allowed in the buildings.
Joe,
and then,
come on.
They
are.
They said they're not even going to do a background check on them. That this is their convention. They're doing one on us to make sure that we don't harm any of them.
So looking at the protesters as problematic, but you ain't thinking about the group that has shown historically in 2.5 years ago, or was it 3 years ago?
Still threatening.
And still, they've shown who they are. Was it 4 years ago now? It was
4 years ago.
Was it 2021 or something?
No, 2021. Yeah. That was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. They've shown
still.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, because the views and opinions
of Latoya
and Brian, and maybe Joe today,
are not the views
of Wisconsin
Voices.
Joe tries to watch what he says very
It's
carefully.
all good,
I try to pick my words very carefully.
Yeah, me too, man. Because it's just upsetting to think how much pressure they want to put and how much surveillance they want to put on groups of people that's out here really trying to say this is wrong. Most of the people that's out there protesting, man, they don't want to hurt or be involved, but you pushing those individuals, those folks into that mindset, because you got people on the other side, whatever they're doing, whether they trying to throw up some weird, white Aryan blood sign or something crazy.
They're threatening people. They are very violent. They will in any way try to provoke violence.
Yeah.
Went to that White House and did all that. The most these protesters in the soft perimeter is done was probably threw a rock in the window or something, protesting at the place, or stepped in the street when the police said you're not allowed or something. They didn't try to take over the government and try to find Nancy Pelosi and Pence and what they would have did to him if they would have found him. They wasn't a door. I mean, the door was blocking them with guns and what you call that elephant
they had everything.
They had elephant tranquilizers. They wasn't at these. None of these people was at that place. People died on that day. People died literally at that protest.
There's a lot of.
When is the last time people died at a protest for a lot of the people that speak up for issues in the communities?
People on their own side was. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we basically saying pretty much that everybody needs to be on their P's and Q's. Just be aware. The biggest thing is just being socially aware of your surroundings, making sure you're not getting caught in any compromising situations that have you looked at or have you in a situation where you could be seen as a threat. So please just be mindful, be careful if you are in the community protesting. Just be aware of the the different groups, and then do your research as well. Who's coming in town? What are the main groups that are promoting certain things? Might just so where and how to move. And if it's not if you're not political, if you're not with being around those scenes, map out your week that early, try to figure out what ways you can move around. For people that work in hotel and services and restaurant services, just be mindful that you may have to deal with different groups, because it's just like it's gonna be like the Harley Fest. People gonna be all over. People that's living in people that's traveling or coming from different areas that are not from here are gonna be spread out all across the city, not just downtown. So you got to think about that. Everywhere from the corner of the southeast part of the lake all the way out to Waukesha and beyond, you have people staying. And the ones that are against Milwaukee are going to decide to stay outside of the city. But you know what? Just like the fake Bucks fans, they're going to decide to come in and enjoy the surroundings as well. So you're going to be dealing with all different types of folks. One more thing for y'all, and I know this may be relatable for you, Toya, and if y'all got any more to say about that team, please let me know. But anybody call in 414-444-5250. Joe, going into what you were saying, and I know Toya would like this as well, how the ACLU is suing Milwaukee over protest zones during the Republican National Convention. So did y'all see that?
That's what we all determined at that meeting.
Yeah,
because the way they got it, we're just we get to go to a soft protest zone, but nobody that we're protesting against is gonna hear it.
Yeah.
So we're actually just gonna be preaching to the choir.
Right.
So
Right. You know what I'm
it's like me protesting to you, Debo. Like, hey, and I know you support our community and where we on, but I'm gonna be staying there.
I'm like, yeah,
we want rights to you. What's the point in doing that? That's like funny.
So like you saying, and just backing up what Joe was saying earlier. So the ACLU says the city is severely restricting the rights of those seeking to protest, and they're putting severely in it. Obviously, like you said, it's so intense of how in where as far as the restrictions of where they want folks that to take it to the city. Isn't even arguing to say that the city so far has yet to identify a protest zone or a parade route, and we're almost less than a month and a half out. So I thought that was
there's a way. I think there's a way for the Republican National Convention to have a safe event for their folks.
Yeah,
and there's a way for the folks of Milwaukee to exercise their right to free speech and be able to protest that.
I agree.
I just feel like there's got to be a way that it can be done logistically, so that everyone can have, no one's rights are violated and everyone's safe at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I agree. That's the whole thing. But it should be it should be where people actually have their voices heard like they would. They wouldn't want to come to a protest where they're just going to be 10 blocks away from who actually needs to hear what they have to say. What is the...
And it's their right to.
Right. It's their right. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. It's their right. And we never infringed on theirs, but it's always an infringe on ours. So we got a caller. Oh, no, we did have a caller. Oh. Sorry, caller. Call back, caller. But anybody else at 414-444-5250.
Yeah, I'm just
any of these topics that we are talking about today, please feel free.
Yeah, you got folks. I wonder if they even set up for people. I'm thinking about for people who want to, try to cash in, whether it's food trucks or vending items. Are they setting it up fair for everybody to be involved?
You probably got to be a Republican to have
you want to come down here, you got to get your truck. Your truck doesn't look like us. You're not a part of this. It's not red, white, blue, and this bunch of colors. I'm sorry. That was Brian.
Not a Patriot restaurant.
It's not a Patriot. Welcome to the Patriots. Oh, we got another caller. Slide on in.
Okay, caller. How you doing? You're on the air, caller.
Oh, I called 3 times and it hung up on me. But I'm disappointed that we can't kind of get together and, in protest, go there for now. And the other part is that an all-out decision that somebody from the mayor say?
I believe the Secret Service is the ones, and the FBI are the ones working on it. That's a national It's a
Yeah,
national thing.
yeah,
So
I seen that.
Also with the mayor's office,
yeah,
though.
yeah. I mean, they're going to work
It's somebody
locally.
in
But
his office that directly is giving them the info on
right.
the protesters, the people in the
Oh,
community, their actions. Because when we were at that meeting,
Yeah.
he's the main person that
oh,
we had to go through to even talk
oh,
to any of them.
Soon as
Mhm.
oh. Okay, but I'm I'm still puzzled by the fact that protest is protest, but to me, I've always been in a nonviolent situation, even in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, protesting. We weren't throwing bricks or doing nothing that we don't. The people I've been around, they don't do that kind of thing. We all know why we there. We there. You know, we don't like what you're saying. We don't like what you're doing, or whatever it is.
Right, but you
You
do
know,
have
that's how
those.
we've been done.
You do have those stragglers. We in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We had people burn down stuff, throw bricks, all type of stuff. So that's
Right?
not all of us. You're true,
Oh,
because I'm one of
yeah.
those protesters that's been in a positive protest. We just block streets off and speak and do chants and stand up for our rights. So I
Right.
agree with you. That's why I
Right.
said that the most that they ever done was a little simple thing. Not simple. That's not simple. That's actually disrespectful. But it's not caused any harm, deadly harm.
Right.
People
Right.
died at that January the 6th event
Oh,
that they held.
definitely, and that was scandalous. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, yes, ma'am, and it was out of order, and then somebody's gonna co-sign it. That's what I didn't like. You gonna co-sign that kind of thing going on? You going along with it, and
Yeah.
people lost their life. And I really have a problem with people losing their life, just like with children overseas losing their life in this war that's going this what they doing over there
Hmm.
in all the countries. They having some kind of war. It affects the children. I have a problem. What I'm having a problem with is we have to suffer because we can't go out and kind of protest. No, I'm not one of them people that, like I said, I ain't been hanging out with that. If you doing something that's gonna cause harm and burning stuff up, I can't do that one. Uh, and I understand. Okay, if that's the way it got to go, that's got to go. And like you said, it was you said something about preaching to the choir or something. That so I guess I have to go along with it because I just heard this just when you were saying on the radio. I'm glad I was listening at you. But about my voting power, I'm still going to the poll and vote, honey. That's
All
what I'm
right.
going to
Good.
do. So
Good.
you ain't got to call me up and ask me to go vote because I got caught in the rain going to vote. I always vote. I always want to cast my vote on the day of the election so I could see my stuff.
All
Go in.
right.
There you
Me
go.
too.
Okay, but y'all have a good weekend and thank you so much for letting me holler. Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. Appreciate
you.
that.
Bye-bye.
Hey, y'all,
But
check
let
this
me
out.
clear up something on there
Yeah,
from what she
go ahead.
said. I wasn't saying people throwing bricks and stuff like that was preaching to the choir. I was saying that the perimeter that soft perimeter that they set us up in is no one from the RNC will be hearing us.
Mhm.
So it's just basically like we're preaching to the choir. We're going
Yeah.
to be
No, I
protesting
got you.
for our people just to
Right.
hear each other
Because they'll
Yeah.
have us
chant
so
and
far away,
right, so far
from
away
the
that they
actual
won't
event.
hear anything that we're saying. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. That it was like preaching to the choir.
Outside of that, state law has allowed guns inside RNC security footprint, but tennis balls have been banned. So, right.
It's
So,
okay if you get shot, but we don't want anybody hitting the head
right.
with a
So
tennis
look,
ball.
check this out. We do not want you clucking that bigot over there in the head with a tennis ball, but he could bring that gun in and return fire back on you. So the thing is with this, and I know it's just, it's really just saying that the city can't interfere with the state laws, but it can prohibit certain types of firearms like machine guns, short barrel shotguns, and silencers. Of course, the things that are usually used to put in work.
So no Uzis.
Yeah, no Uzis, none of those. But you know what? However, long guns and pistols will be allowed by state law. So as
It's an open carry state.
yeah, as
Mhm.
Alderman Ballman said, you're barred from possessing tennis balls, but you can have a loaded AR-15. So,
Mhm.
and he says, and I quote, "That's the craziest, most absurd situation I've heard in my 20 years of being an elected official," end quote. Which I agree with him.
I do
They're
too.
bringing their guns. Come on now, look what we around. Let's think about it. People travel. they're definitely going to be driving in big trucks and big SUVs with
What's their
20
number
foot
one
Trump flags
law?
and AR-15s across state lines. And if you got any type of security license, federal license, if you think you a cop, like I see most of them when I watch all these blue cam shows and stuff, some of them ride around and think they cops. You know, they're gonna be coming in town with loaded guns and cars and AR-15s and pistols. I'll just tell you this: make sure you don't park your cars in the wrong neighborhood. Be a lot of new AR-15s and pistols in Milwaukee, so just be careful. Y'all think y'all coming here and parking cars outside hotel rooms and all that? It's some young boys here of all groups. I'm just saying, you know, don't come into nobody else's city that you just gonna be leaving fire. The habits of federal officers here in Milwaukee, they left a bait car in Milwaukee somewhere about 5 years, maybe now almost 8-9 years ago. They left a bait truck with some with an AR-15 and some clips in it, and somebody broke in and stole it. I bet you Milwaukee police never got that gun back. But yeah,
because they didn't steal the car. They just stole the guns.
Right. Yeah, they left a gun. They left their car. They detected
they
car,
left the bait car,
yeah.
but they stole the gun.
And you know what? And it might not even been a federal, but it might have just been a bait for them. They just left a truck with an AR-15 and some clips in it in a neighborhood on the east side, and it was gone. You know, so you think that won't happen when it's 1,000 with 22,000 new cars, or probably 100,000 new cars.
And these kids is smart here,
weekend.
So that's the number one thing they gonna be thinking. Like, oh yeah,
they're smart. Period.
Yeah,
I don't think we give kids enough credit.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I mean. They smart,
Yes.
and they gonna be like, oh yeah.
Them young teens,
That's right.
young teens and young adults is on. That's they
gonna be on point.
Yeah.
That's why I said y'all gonna have to protect yourself and
be
really
knowledgeable, be aware.
Be knowledgeable and be aware, because that's gonna give them that extra anger on when stuff start coming up missing out their cars and stuff. They gonna start.
People need to start looking
having
at
more height security, all that. Yeah,
pull up the police logs too. If you see a lot of issues in one area, you can look at police logs in Milwaukee as well. Things are accessible online. If you see a lot of stuff going on in one area, that may be the area that you may not want to go. Also, it's a police scanning page on Facebook. It's a police scanning page. It's a police scanning page on Facebook. You can also go on Facebook as well and go to USFIR on there and look at any issues, or sometimes they'll put any areas that have high capacity of high population of individuals as well. So check that website out. You may see something on there as well that you may like. So you never know what you're gonna encounter.
Calm down, Toya. They didn't come here.
All right.
Like she was about to hit it out the back.
Oh, I thought she pulled up right behind her.
Hey, I
car
thought she was
out there,
gonna run out the back.
Toya, it's all good. They ain't coming here.
Toya was ready to go.
Bounce.
They was. We got a back.
So it's
right?
Friday. What you done did last
go.
Look, the show will end 13 minutes early. Yeah, so we just want to practice and just preach awareness and just getting out there, and also of course visiting Wisconsin Voices, checking out our website, seeing what's going on, checking out some of our partners and seeing what they got going on. I think it's time for Latoya to drop a partner update. Latoya, what was going on that you mentioned earlier this week that our partners got going on?
Father's Making Progress.
Yeah,
on the 14th they will be having their annual Father's Honor Awards.
Okay.
And they're also going to, this is the first time I believe that they're going to honor co-parents.
Okay.
Of a father and a mother that's really doing a great job on co-parenting, raising their children. So they'll be on Monday to talk more about it.
Nice.
And let everybody know how they can get invested and come out to the event, enjoy themselves, how they can buy a ticket to their award show. And I feel like it's going to be an amazing event because we have some amazing young fathers. One of our youth students, Demetrius, amazing young father. He still keeps up with me right now today. And he was listening to the show the other day. And
shout out to Demetrius and everybody over at Fathers Making Progress.
He literally said, Miss Toya, I didn't know y'all had a show. I would love to come on there and talk about some of the stuff we doing with the fathers in the community. So
we got to get him on here.
He's coming Monday.
Oh, okay.
So our organizations do some amazing work in the community. Dominican Center, again, they're having their block parties. They have a youth program. I didn't bring my computer today, but I'll definitely have all that information Monday. They're having a youth cleanup
Okay.
from their youth committee. So they Dominican Center, Our Money Unite has a youth council. So they're gonna have a cleanup. I believe it's this weekend.
Okay.
Um, um, also, it's a couple of things. Sherman Park is always something going on with Sherman Park Association
Mm-hmm.
at Sherman Park. They'll be having an event this weekend. Um, um, we're trying to see what our LGBTQ community is doing this weekend because I know it's Pride Fest.
Yeah. So
We got our canvassers down at Pride Fest now. It's full. Gotta sit on location for that.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I already got one set up. I set it up
okay.
yesterday.
Oh, okay. We
You
got
know
to
I
tell
was on it.
yeah.
I was on it. But the turf in, they come right to me. I'm like, yeah. I told you last year we was eating up them turfs. Me and Toya sitting down there
Mhm.
going crazy. Once Toya
Yeah.
showed me how to do it, I went into the room and said, I'll be back.
Yeah.
Get it popping. No, we everywhere now. But yeah, I got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I set it up Henry Meyer Festival
So-
in there if you want to check it out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's what they got. We got to text them that.
Oh, they okay.
Uh-huh. But it's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a break. This is WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM. Be a voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Women and men are currently incarcerated? While they cannot vote, the fact is they have family and friends who can vote. Expo has been contacting these men and women with accurate information on who is eligible to vote. At Expo's People in Politics events, we engage our local communities in discussing important issues. We educate the people in our community on what unlock the vote means and how voter disenfranchisement disproportionately impacts people of color, excluding thousands of people in Wisconsin from voting. Expo has trainings on state budget process and how legislation is crafted and passed. For more information, please visit our website at expowisconsin.org. And remember, you have a right not to remain silent.
Hi, my name is Tamika Vukovic, Co-Executive Director of Wisconsin Voices. Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
Catch Wisconsin Voices via Voice Radio every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. as we focus on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
Hey, this is Latoya, Joe, and Brian with Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voice, WNOV 860, 106.5 FM.
One more partner shout out real quick, Latoya, before we go to whatever our next or last topic. I know we were just laughing about a couple other items that is not allowed down there, but Denim and Diamond, Daddy, Daughter, and Mother Son Dance with one of our partners at the Grand Hall on 9400 West Congress. That is a Purpose Driven Sisters, Saturday, June 8th from 4 to 8. This is a daddy, daughter, and mother son dance. So anybody that's trying to find something to do this weekend, check that out. You can get your tickets at purposesisters.org, or you can contact 262-423-7118. Purpose Driven Sisters is a nonprofit here in this city of Milwaukee, focusing on young ladies and adolescent and young teen ladies, just getting them ready for the next steps in life. I think there'd be somebody that you like to work with. It's $50 per couple and $10 each individual child. So if you are interested, it's a family affair. So please come dress in jeans and bling for that denim and diamond daddy daughter and mother son dance by Purpose Driven Sisters. Okay, y'all. We was laughing real quick before we get up out of here because we just silly, man. We always just cracking jokes and all that stuff.
Because they don't make sense.
Yeah.
We should take it. Tell them what you said, Joe. Tell them what you said.
Maybe we could get a dump truck full of tennis balls and just kind of lob them over there.
Yeah, they also said right because they said right. We said no tennis balls, right? No aerosol cans. You can't bring any big containers. You know, like any what you call the coolers. No coolers. I've seen that on there as well. So. Don't get it twisted, man. Don't bring anything down there. All right.
Okay, but here,
the tennis
this
balls
my
throw me
thing.
off.
This my thing. If you said they can bring their pistols and their rifles,
right?
Why? Who's to say that you can't say that we can't either? This is an open carry state.
Yeah,
you should have.
So long as I got my strap right here in my hand,
yeah. So proposals was to ban the coolers, aerosol cans, also
what is
canned foods.
Really?
No. Right. Hang on once.
Yeah.
The views and opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of
I just do that one for you. What'd you say you was bringing?
Nothing. I didn't say I was bringing anything. I said people should be able to bring their strap in their hand.
Look, and you on video. Wait, slow it down, Toya. Look.
Yeah.
See, how about bring some canned food? They're more threatened by your canned
No,
foods.
we can bring golf balls.
Oh, yeah,
They
no
didn't say you
fireworks.
couldn't bring no golf balls.
No fireworks either.
Golf balls are harder than tennis balls.
Water bottles.
Mm-hmm.
No water bottles either.
So you gotta be thirsty because you can't even bring no containers.
You know what? You gotta buy some of that $9 RNC water.
Yeah.
With a picture of Donald Trump's face or or
A
what's,
bottle of golden water.
what's our boy name who be
Did he
frozen
ever
at
say
the,
who's
podium?
gonna be his vice president?
Who's that? Oh no, I ain't. No, I mean,
Don't they supposed to pick that for RNC?
he got a whole bunch of other issues right now.
You probably have that before. I think it's before the RNC though.
Yeah, it is before the RNC.
Yeah,
He's supposed to say who his
Also, he'll
vice
announce
president
it.
is.
Somewhere lower, he'll probably announce it at the RNC.
From what I understand, I think he's in the final stages of his vetting process.
Right,
Yeah.
that
We should
person's
have
supposed to be known before because they are supposed to
They'll be on
have.
the ticket.
Yeah, they'll be on the ticket with him. So
Yeah.
he's supposed to have that person already announced before.
All
Got
right.
a lot, trying to be in court every, and all that stuff. That was a lot to try to figure out who's gonna run with you.
Right. He got a
Yeah.
whole bunch of issues. He in court. He got to sit through that. He got to go do an interview about
Man's
how
got a
Who
lot of
actually
issues.
want to run with him?
Right. That's what's going to change the speed of.
He won't be at the RNC.
Well, that was quick.
He just crossed the street. He just made it across the street. So he got into it with the man that quick. Whoa. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree with you, Debo. Him being in court and all that, I know it's kind of a
Busy
lot.
schedule, man. You
His
can't think
schedule
about-
is busy.
Probably had bigger fish to fry.
Right. For real.
34
Trying not to
felonies.
be the fish that fries.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right.
He on his way.
34 felonies.
I meant to ask you guys, what did you think of the? I don't know if either of you have seen it, the commercial with the coins.
What is it?
I don't know if
Don't
I've
tell me
seen
it's
that
a silver coin.
Yeah, the
commercial.
silver coin.
The Trump.
Yeah, well, they got one is on one side it shows Biden in jail and Trump being sworn in on the front side of it.
What?
Then on the other one, it's vice versa. It's got Trump behind bars
Yeah.
and Biden being sworn in.
So you could buy whichever
So
one
you can
want.
flip the coin.
Yeah, you can go whichever one.
Those
you
two
wanna
different
go.
coins.
Two different
Yeah.
coins.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You can buy whichever one you
Yeah.
Have you,
agree
have, you,
with.
have you seen?
Yeah.
No, I haven't
Yeah,
seen
I've
it.
seen
Yeah,
it.
now I'm
You
gonna have
ain't
to
seen
look it up. No,
Uh-huh.
I usually catch the little novelty coins and quarters, but I ain't catch it.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Catch that one.
Well, it looks like we are at the point of closing up. Y'all got any last announcements? Anything that's going on? I do want to say it's been fun working with y'all this week. It's always been interesting and just
You guys
it's
just
good
be
to be
saying that.
Yeah.
Y'all don't really be
Oh,
doing
no.
that stuff.
Come up and visit us sometime.
Yeah, come on, Debo. Come
It's
side
crazy.
up.
hilarious.
Yeah.
It's
I can only
crazy.
imagine.
We brainstorm on some
Especially if
crazy
Tamika's
stuff
there,
just
I
sitting
know
at
it's
the chat. Oh
hilarious.
my goodness, right. Right.
Oh my
Man,
goodness.
she'll pop in. She popped in on me today, and it was on me and Keon about this meeting that we had to do. Well, I had to do it. And me and Keon was just talking about food yesterday.
Wow.
Just like me and
80%
Latoya do.
of
We
our
like to eat.
conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about food.
So it's been a good week, y'all. Thank y'all.
Be a voice with Wisconsin Voices. WNOV 860 106.5 FM.
Happy Friday.
Y'all
y'all.
happy Friday.
y'all.
was to try and turn back the tide. I've never been this hard in my life. Wanted my spaceship tied to the sky. If you thought you should see